It's under the direction of Mr. Rory Davis. Just a few things about Mr. Davis really quickly. He's originally from Waco, so we're glad to have him back in town. He teaches at Cinco Ranch Junior High in Katy, Texas. His band's performed at the Midwest Conference, Band and Orchestra Conference in Chicago on several occasions. He was a conductor of the Honor Full Orchestra, that's TMEA Honor Full Orchestra, which is the best orchestra in the state of Texas, and been consistent sweepstake winners as well. Like I said before, with all the other groups, we bring in some of the most amazing conductors, directors, and musicians in the state of Texas to work with our kids here this week. So please help me bring to the stage the Baylor Band and Mr. Rory Davis.
I just want to take a second to say thank you, first of all, for all of you coming to the concert. Really appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for having your children here. It has been an absolute blast hanging out with them all week and working with them. We have had a wonderful, wonderful time. The last song that you heard, or the first song that you heard, was called Gadget. It's a really neat piece. It's supposed to be kind of like invention-like, you know, any kind of invention you can think of, just working with gadgets, and it's really neat. That's where you get all the different sounds. This next song that we're going to do for you is a second movement of a larger work called Lincolnshire Posy. If you're a band person, you may know about it, but it's a very famous wind ensemble or band music piece written by Percy Grainger, and it's actually from a very old Scottish type melody, and Grainger actually went and had these recorded, had these recordings made. They're very scratchy, grainy recordings from the early 1900s, like 1902, somewhere around there. And Dr. Wilson, who's the director of bands here, he came in one day this week, as I was telling the kids about it, I asked him, I said, hey, would you maybe come down and talk to the kids about Hawkstow Grange and about Grainger? And so he said, sure, no problem. So he went upstairs and he got his score to Lincolnshire Posy and got a recording, the original vocal recording of some guy out in the backwoods singing this folk tune, and he told them the story behind the tune. It's going to sound kind of like a love song, but it's not. It's actually, the kids will tell you, it's about two guys that, you know, had a fight, you know, and a master and a slave, and how they were on the outs, and, you know, one of them, you know, killed the other or whatever. And but it's not like it's Grainger took it and made a very beautiful piece out of it, and so they got a history lesson from Dr. Wilson here at Baylor. So that should serve as, if they say they want to go to Baylor, it's his fault. So you can that, you know. But we've had a great time this week, and we'll move on. And this is Hawkstow Grange. Isn't that pretty? It's just really pretty. Like, that didn't sound like two guys fighting, but it's just a wonderful, wonderful piece. It's a great introduction for these kids into some really great music literature that some of them may not ever have otherwise be able to experience. I never got to play anything like that when I was in high school, and that's really pretty amazing. And so Andrew Chase did a fabulous job on the trumpet solo. So I'm going to bring out a person who is helping me all week. He is from Katy. He teaches at a school right down the street from me. His name is George Liverman. We've become really good friends and great colleagues, and we talk a lot about band stuff, you know, when we get a chance outside of family and business and all that stuff. But I'm going to bring out Mr. George Liverman.
Switch gears a little bit and go from Granger to a piece called Junkyard Jam. I've had the opportunity this week to work with the ensemble, Mr. Davis, and it's amazing the team that came together to put this piece and make it as flashy as I hope it turns out to be. All the directors and all the percussion instructors, like Mr. Boyd, orchestrated for all the percussionists amongst all the ensembles to get together and be a part of this piece. So I thank the directors and the percussion coaches to make it happen. But most of all, I've had a blast working with your students, your kids, and all the other team members here at the camp. So we're going to bring out all the percussionists, and here is Junkyard Jam. As they're getting set up, a lot of the campers this week, Mr. Davis came up with this wild idea of just giving some prizes out, and the prizes this week amongst the campers were kitchen utensils. So if your student called you up maybe Wednesday or Thursday and said, "Man, I want a spoon, or I want a spatula, or a potato masher," it's true. So those are some prizes they're gonna bring home, but you're gonna notice in the middle of this piece, we arrange it to where they get to use some of that as some percussion equipment to kind of make this piece jump a little bit more. So it looks like we're almost ready, and here we go with Junkyard Jam. Mr. Davis has a presentation he would like to make.
Since we're in the junkyard part of it, we can just throw anything in there at any given time. This is fun week, right? Well, as he told you, we've been giving away all these prizes, and Mr. Boyd over there, the percussion instructor, when we were giving them out, he told Mr. Liverman, he said, "Oh, I need some of those things, those kitchen utensils at my house." You know? I guess he's a young college guy, you know, they need spatulas and spoons and stuff. And then another person I wanted to bring out, Miss Gould. Miss Gould's here too, and Miss Gould has been in charge of making sure the kids are where they need to be, when they need to be, and doing what they need to do. And man, it's like every time we show up, they are ready to go. And Sarah has been she's been an amazing manager. And so she also got spoon, spatula, and what else? A strainer spoon. So we just want to let y'all know that they've done an amazing job, and they got theirs too. So go ahead and give them a hand. Couldn't do this without having a strainer here. And this guy, he strains everything out of all the kids and the workers and the college students. Mr. Parker, come here. Mr. Parker. We couldn't let him go without getting a utensil for all that he does. So, Mr. Parker. Our last piece this evening, or this morning, afternoon, whatever time it is, I forgot, it all runs together, is called High Five. And after a little while, you'll kind of get the idea of why we call it High Five. But the last piece of the Baylor Band this year, once again, thank you so much for having me. We really appreciate being here. Thank you for sharing your children with us. And we have, I've just prayed and blessed them and just really thank God for the opportunity to just give something that will go further than just, a statement or something like that, something that they'll be able to take with them for the rest of their life. So without further ado, this is High Five and the Baylor Band. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Big hand for all of the performers that